So I found a good example. So I'd show you guys. Oh my gosh, I love licorice tea. It's so delicious. Sorry for it not being spectacular. I obviously, this is just another example of why it's not that I don't know how to figure out how to, it's because it's not the most important thing to me, to be honest with you. Okay, so you're going to have to zoom in if you really want to understand. So, okay, so there's this one that I was looking at. It was called the oikopleura. And I know that the word, I was looking at the Bible information, in the Greek uses the word like oikos. Look, mitochondrial genetic code. Interesting. That makes sense because oiko is referring to like the Theotokos, the mother of God, or the dwelling of the house of the Lord, the child. Deuterostomia. So I'm like, well, what's that all about? So you can click on it and then it takes you to other places and then you see other things that it says. And there's just lots of information, like all these things show biotic interactions, organism modifiers like Oregonian, like what are they talking about? ODM jet. I mean, there's too many references to things that just make it look very curious. So dry ADDB, I mean, I don't know, gold. This is this one website that I went to. So you go to this website called Gold, I guess, Integrated Microbial Genomes and Microbiomes. So this is like the Gold website. And I looked it up. And you can do all this other stuff. It has a lot of information. And so on and so forth. So this is what I was doing. I went to like their homepage. And it shows you like this is the number of studies they're working on, this is the number of biosamples, etc. Right? And you can go into sequencing project and like ask to see stuff from the eukarya or the archaea, which I believe is trying to talk about men. Environmental samples, you can go to biosample. This is what I was looking at. Or organism. Now, organism, this is real interesting. There's a lot of domains. You can go to those. Virus is different than eukarya, is different than bacteria, is different than archaea. And you've got these options for metadata. Oxygen requirement to filter information, cell shape, motility, temperature range, biotic relationship, symbiotic physical interaction, symbiotic relationship, like child, physical interaction, like partner, cell arrangement, where do they live? Who do they live around? Disease, what do we not like about them? Habitat, what do we need to know about their environment, their habitat that we can pick on and poke fun at? That's all they got to do is reduce your quality of life. All they have to do to target you is just drop you down to the bottom level, and then they won't be subjecting you to any kind of conditions that you wouldn't otherwise be subjected to if they think that you're a loser. So they can talk all the shit on you. They can control where you end up. So they can control what ends up in the system. So they can try to like plot out your murder in the system. So that everyone, keeps their hands clean? Growth temperature, metabolism, phenotype, energy source, isolation, country, / ocean. Isn't that interesting? Okay. And then there's that of biosample. Well, you can look up the host name or the host age or their body site. What's that all about? Let's see what that says. What I had been looking at was the name, the host name. And look at all these, different ones. But most of it's humans. Okay, well, I'm not really worried about that right now. Subsite, host body product. Just curious. Comes back quickly. All right, we'll worry about it later. Oopsie. See, Department of Energy. DOE. So, host name is what I was looking at. Still actually has the information down here. And so out of all of those, samples that it says that it's working on over here and stuff, that's not that many if you think about it. That many goes to this guy, right? So they got totals, right? So I went all the way down to the bottom just to be like curious. What's this? Hot Springs Metagenome. Okay. Cryptasterina pentagona. Okay. Tubipora musica. Right? These sound like things they're trying to say somewhere in there in that information. And they made it real complicated so that way people wouldn't see it right underneath their nose. That's what I think. Chelly Serrata. Siba. Naive M. Meyer Mex. Sumi Krasty. Sumi Krasty? I do not know. Look, only one comes back under ticks. Luerdensis. I don't know. It looks like lewd. This is the one that I was looking at because I'm still in the ones. Aliscotermes. Aliscotermes. I don't know what they're trying to say, but anything that's got my ALY in it, I'm very curious. So I open it up. This is about as far as I can come. What is Aliscotermes? Terms is a genus of termites within the family of Termitidae. Termitidae. A part of the subfamily Pico-termitinae. A Pico. Well, Pico is relevant because Pico Wholesale is the name of a business that my uncle was an attorney for that happened to link to the same business downtown Los Angeles partner that the kidnapper is tied to. So these are just typical stuff. So let's see if they're going to be talking shit on Scotermes, whatever they want that to stand for. There's definitely going to be like a dictionary somewhere where they're going to tell you how it reads, you know. Let's see here. Cam one night. Why would you put the word cam in there if it's got nothing to do with the camera? Well, because it does. It's got to have something to do with the camera. Let's see here. Aliscotermes sans. What? Is a genus of Belatoidea in the family higher termites. They are nocturnal. What are you saying? We're vampires or something? Hilarious. I say that all the time. I say hilarious all the time. For instance, a Hilaris possesses one of the most distinctive gizzard armatures with a very conventional enteric valve. Astelotermes species. I mean, let's just see what it says. My God. If they're not trying to say these things, then why does it seem to have, why are there relevant things? And what, otherwise, what is this huge science you got going on? What are you guys looking at? Are you guys trying to make us believe that it's Mendelians like peas? Or what? Oh, here we go. Here we look. It says Trestus. You know that Hermes Trismegistus? That's what I've been dealing with Thoth. Holotype. Female. Insect. Aliscotermes Kilimandiaricus. The soldierless Apicoterminae. Insights into a poorly known what? I can't wait. Oh, consequences of shade management on the taxonomic patterns. What do you mean, like the shade tree? The shade tree, like prison for women that are forced into homelessness and then taken there without their, against their will. Termite genera, you see, terminate it. That's what they're saying. Otherwise, what's the science of Aliscotermes? It's going to turn out look, wood. You know what I'm talking about? White people, wood. This is what it is. Bold systems. Anatomical specializations of the gizzard in soil feeding termites. Soil feeding. Oh, like bottom of the barrel. That's what they're trying to say. Eats dirt. Eats the dust. The gizzard of the Apicotermidae termites, right? But they're going to have a science. Trust me. They've got the computer doing all this. So at the time that the computer assigns the name to the thing, they're setting aside some file somewhere so they can get paid somehow. Yeah, that's what it is. This is all taxonomy. That's all payment system somehow, somewhere, some way it is. And then look, they're going to come to all these conclusions. It's a worker's digestive tube, a taxonomy, soldierless lineages. Oh, by contrast, the gizzard, Proventriculus, has been almost ignored by taxonomists because of its generally regressed state. In this study, we document in detail the first time the sclerotized structures and ornamentations of the gizzard. Two subspecies, pulvilar armature, spicules or spines of diverse sizes. Lord save us, and let's see what they looked at. Here's the pulvicular structures. Come on, big bucks, no Emmys, and stop. Now, these are much better pictures than like they had before, but yeah, that is interesting because that's definitely something there right there. Back to, I'm not saying there's no science, but I'm saying, what are they doing? Are they just trying to name stuff because they don't have anything else to name it, so they're going to use it for some kind of purpose, and then God forbid they come across that in someone else. They're like, well, we didn't like this about her, so we assign. I mean, they can play any games they want with these datas. We need to make sure that we know what these datas are and how they're being used before we let them continue to just carry this on. Look at this. You think a person's going to write all this? I beg to differ. I'm not suggesting they can't. I'm suggesting the breadth of all of it in there, all of it says that there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. That's what it says, and that's just what it says. There's no beating around the bush. Oh, these ones don't want to play games. They're like, yeah, well, we're just not gonna, because we don't want to just let you have it. Fair enough. Whatever. Let's find out else what's interesting. We're still in the ones. Romanomyrmis. Dumatella. Jeez. Panethia. Angusti. Penis. Amensis. What do they say mensis about our period or something? Sinularia cruciata. Pyura chilensis. Look. Hormaphis hamamelidis. Crop plant. Mastotermes darwinensis. Oligochaeta. Pateria miniata. Hemerocallis. Oh. Hemirocollis. R-O. Okay, well, that's there's documentation for you, because I'm always worried about what they're trying to do. They're always trying to just set me up. So when they're just leaning back, that's because they've got the next assault already premeditated, already preemptively set up to be the preemptive strike. So what this sounds like is Hemi RO restraining order call is, now that's saying what, that I called and requested one. I did, but are they saying make one up now or something? Who knows? I don't know, but that's only one, you know what I mean? It comes up once. Let's see what that says. Oops. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. And F11. There you go. I've got like 2 keyboards right here. It's definitely not helping. It's Hemirocollis. C-A-L-L-I-S. Well, that's working. Squatina californica. See? What are you talking about? The house of mine that you know, see this, they're talking shit. That's what it sounds like. I'm not even in California. But I have to remember that this could also be from Alex's profile, so that maybe he's making her squat. I don't know. That makes me very suspicious. And again, I don't know what this information is, but you can't really find out much more. And they got it so ambiguously hidden. That's what I don't like about it at all. Hi, hello, mama. Asiaticum. Did this do it yet? No, it doesn't want to do anything. Bing is the worst in the world. Oh, it's a daylily. That's a biblical reference. Nothing wrong with that. Carry on. Kidding. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm not trying to say something, but it's not about, like going down the rabbit hole. You got to stay on the surface the way that I look at it. I'm just trying to capture some information and see if it sticks. Most of the time it doesn't. Me liphora, apis mellifera, mellifera, Ligia exotica, Ataidae, haddock, haddock. For my boat, till you stole it. Halargarius johnsoni. Halargarius. This person is Gary. Akashiwo sanguinea. We're still in the ones. Hippodamia. Solon strictus. Is that a lot? Again, it's for days. You think you get the time to do this? Well, I wish I had a computer program that at least helped me read this. I mean, there should be. You guys are going to try to tell me you guys understand what all this is saying. I'm pretty sure you do, generally speaking, but not generally, but not in all truth. That's right. Not in all truth. It's too big of a science for you to know all that, unless you're We're only going to be asked about the ones that you particularly work on. That's right. This is citizen science, guys. I mean, there's just no two ways about it. And when you start looking at this data, what you see are consistent patterns. Obviously, they're not going to have it so obvious that this one particular page is going to just boom, 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 boom. But for me, I have a trained eye. I know what I'm looking for. But it's, you see what I'm saying? It's so ambiguously hidden in there that unless you know what you're dealing with, literally, I can tell you this, there's got to be a way to calculate this. The amount of data that has to be calibrated. And this is a constant calibration system, another impossible threshold that humans can't live up to and never are going to and never should try to. Therefore, shouldn't be calculating things on these levels, because if it's something that we can't calculate, trust me, you don't need to know it. We're going to get good with this, guys. We're going to get good with the actual idea that, you know what? We're going to start having some respect for God. God, the creator of all things, that is bigger than I can ever try to put my head around. But what I do know is that it's not a me or a you. God is the everything that you and me aren't. God's in everything, conscious in everything. So yeah, you guys can find a science, it's like that. But you guys, you got some really bad numbers. Because obviously, you're going to, all of a sudden you guys get some technology and some dollar bills to do what you want for the last couple hundred years. And you guys are going to try to verify that what you thought it was is what it was. Do you know what happens? Less than 10% of the time are you guys on the right track. This is just from a quality control perspective. There's a reason for checks and balances. And there's a reason why you have the audit, the quality control review, the due diligence. That's why I have to have that. When you don't have that in place, there's a reason why you don't have that in place. But when you have that in place for other people, and in certain areas only, like, for example, quality control is a really good thing. It behooves the company that's finance lending to have their ducks in a row. But that behooves anybody and everybody. It's a good rule of thumb. Which is why my contention here, ladies and gentlemen, with the world, is to be able to get this information before us all. Somebody's going to have to get this information before us all, because that's how they've kept us down. They just shut you up. They just shut you up and they just kill you. Well, guess what? They did that many times already. I'm dead many times by their murder, attempted murder. The only reason why I'm not dead is not because they didn't try to murder me thoroughly enough. It's because God made sure in the nick of time that I didn't die. And that I'm just going to say, yeah, it happened a handful of times. But does that mean like I've been subjected to the worst of the worst? No, I've been terrorized more than I have been physically assaulted. But I'm going to tell you, when someone's committing violence on you and it's touchless torture, you wish you'd been that you had the beaten to a bloody pulp situation to call them and they'd go, oh, we see it now. Because this kind, nobody can see it. Nobody believes that it's even happening. Or they do, they just really don't give a fuck. Because the truth of the matter is that the society has been raised by generations of good colonial folk that have been following the leadership of their pastors. Their pastors wrote things in the first tense meaning them, in a masculine tense, even if it doesn't reason out, especially when it doesn't reason out, especially the stuff that doesn't reason out. They get together and make sure that we're not allowed to talk about it. Who's us? Well, we're the women. They've been told to shut up the whole entire time. You guys didn't even change your trust laws until like around the time I was born. Fascinating. But you didn't just change trust laws. Trust laws is the whole thing. Well, they're going to want us to know that now, but it's still the whole thing. You can't just change the laws and say, okay. So boys aren't the only thing that's important. And then all of a sudden it's going to just be that way. No, you guys did that in a preemptive manner to set the stage so that you can start flip-flopping the power. Women wanted divorces. You guys didn't want to give up the labor, the servitude. You didn't want to lose what you had. Of course you don't. It's natural. We understand. There's no getting around that one though, hon. There's pimples. When you're going through puberty, there's pimples. I'll tell you one thing. You're gonna be a stud when you grow up. And right now, the reason why you have pimples is because God doesn't want you to be focused on that. Like you got your head in places you shouldn't have it. The problem? Mama's gonna put you right back in line, and you're gonna be thankful, and that's because Mama's got it under control. But you haven't been willing to hear that, and you knew this was coming, and I think that that's what the real big problem is that people just the darkness that's been wanting to sticky, hold on to it, like not let go of the gum on your shoe. Because we're entering the light, and it's like a river. We're moving out here in space, and it's also cool. The way that we're in an infinite, like up down, like hyperspace. All of us orbits, and God is something we should really, 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 really just take to heart. Like I didn't create this planet, these vegetables, these fruits, these trees, these animals, this wildlife. This place is paradise. Ooh, let's just leave it at that. I'm in awe. Did I do this? Hell no. All I could say is this. Fuck yeah. Awesome. Awesome sauce, So that's what God is. You don't have to get all worried about it. But there's also none of that weird stuff when it comes to God. You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys just want to look. I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying. Do you want me to say it? Because I'll say it. But right now I'm not gonna. If I get the energies, that I need to, I will. But I'm trying to save you from ball kicking. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to not kick you in the balls. It's just like I said about the pimples. Okay, you feel like you're Superman, and I know that's good. It's a really good thing. Don't let that go. It's your spirit, right? But know that you're also among some other young, stallions. You all have got to be superheroes. Never forget that. That's the greatest superhero, is the one who always has friends to play with. That's not a weird word, play. Play is actually what we are here. There is a sense of humor. Well, come on, if you're going to keep going around and around and around the same orbit, you're going to come to a fundamental. Those are good things when you have them and you know them. When you know that you're on the ride, you can just relax now and so fast, you think you're gonna, but that's the ride. That's an orbit, and there's so many of them. We should just let it be. It's play, and all the we all know what I'm talking about. We're all colorful. We are all happy people. Yes, we are when we get to be. So the only difference between us being all happy people and us not being all happy people is because not every people are able to have the freedom to access their happiness, because we're living in a dollar bill system. Suffering, pain and suffering. Look, I gotta tell you, that's what's happening right now. This guy is, no one should have left him in charge. They were not left in charge. So 230 million years it takes to go around one cosmic spin, 1 year. And all right, well, those are the numbers they gave us, so we'll run with it. Still, 230 million, one cosmic. On the scale of things, you guys, that little blue dot. And it's like a brown beam. It wasn't even like sparkle, sparkle. But we're always going to be getting to know things more. That's fair. That's fair. It's fair that it's always an intimate thing. It's fair that it always will be. It's fair that we'll jump to conclusions and sometimes misunderstand. But as long as we're in a conscious contemplation, communication, exchange, as long as we're not ever not holding on to that hand. As I say this, my soul is like, ouch. My daughter, okay? Like, I can't even put it into words. I call myself warrior mama, and you know what? Because you'll never get me to stop. But what has been happening has been a whole lot of like psychological kung fu. And here's the truth about that. You can juxtapose somebody. It's true. I don't know why this guy wants to do this so hard. Because like, what are you proving? Okay, so you can juxtapose a person. You got me. You fucked me over. You put me up against a wall. You caused me to be unable to maneuver here. It's true what it is. It's like, fuck, you caught me out on the road. You surrounded me. Okay, now, and you guys control the situation. Now you swooped up on me. You surrounded me. So this is not that. That's not the game we're supposed to be tickling ourselves with. That's a game that happens along the plight of suffering. And suffering is a state of all things and variables. Slightest suffering, immense suffering, but it's a suffering. And that's why it's like not evil. It's broken love. We're never born evil. God's doesn't appreciate, the consciousness that creates all this awesome clearly knows what it's doing. Clearly can be trusted to have made. We're going to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt. Give him some good faith credit. I think out of any of them, this one's one of those. The God guy, you're going to go ahead and. But it's not a guy. And it's not a bad or a good. It's an all. Once you accept that there's no one or the other, you take the debate away. You take the prize away. No one's going to win or lose here. It's one thing. And the fact that you want to do it this way is because you're not smart enough and you're scared to play on our field. You want to show up to the big dogs. You can understand that it's all the same thing. That's the most powerful. That's when you get your zhuzh. Zhuzh. When what's coming down, when what's going up meets with what's coming down. Zhuzh. Zhuzh. Yes. How powerful is that? When were you going to get the zhuzh? You weren't going to get the zhuzh unless you did this. You weren't going to get the zhuzh. I'm saying it over and over again because it makes me think of my back east family members, and it's just hilarious, and I love them. So I like to draw their energy. Zhuzh. Zhuzh is a great word. You weren't going to get the zhuzh without them meeting together, you see. Otherwise, there'd just be ups and downings and ups and downs. You're not doing anything. You're never getting there because you can't land one on the thing. You got to land one in a zhuzh. Truth be told, people, this is a philosophy. It's a mathematics, I'm sure of it. And I'm pretty sure it's also code. Simplified. We're going to have that love simplified code. But the philosophy. Oh, I just lost my train of thinking. It's going to come back to me. The code. Mm-hmm. Oh. That's fine. That's fine. When things happen like that, you go, doesn't really matter. Back to what we were doing. See? Because no one's upset in the cosmos. For real, for real. Like, well, why would, first of all, we need to start asking the right question. The story about the wheat and the wheat tells us, well, basically what it says is it just shows how self-righteous people are. That's the whole point of the story is that people are like, well, why would we have to deal with the weed? Wait a minute. What? So these guys are like coming out the gate thinking that we were intended to be perfect and whatever, got in the way of us getting what's perfect. It sounds like a real bad guy, like a real bad attitude. just tripping. It's just not taking just taking it all wrong. That's what it sounds like. That bad attitude is not going to work for the light. We're going into this river of plasma like it's cold. It's actually going to cool it down, and we're going to cool down. You better believe we're cooling down. You know what I mean? It's like when it's late at night, you got to like, shh, we got to change the rhythm. We got to change the rhythm. We can. We will. Look, I'm going to be the first asshole. No, I'm the asshole. Hope you don't mind. I'll be the asshole thing. I'll be the asshole. Thank you. I'm going to show us how we do this. My daughter and I are going to show us how we do this. We have done this. We have danced this dance before. Even in the science information. But it makes me wonder when I see the combination of information. So like, I consider myself like a chaperone, like here's my badge. Like I'm from like the galactic group of us, the local HOA kind of thing. I'm the chaperone sent in because when you come to our palace, there's a whole thing. We appreciate you. We appreciate receiving you. We appreciate hosting you. The Lord of Hosts is not a war fighter, just a warrior mama. But the host of hosts wants to host and enjoys this because there's a real powerful thing. So you wouldn't want to take that away from the host, the gift of giving, right? So energy, what we generate together, what we're going to realize is just that we're not going to talk about why we didn't. That's the first reminder. Remind yourself at all times. Things are changing. Remember that. Just like we were going through the dark, and that's what you expect. You know, now we're entering we're going to be swimmers now. Okay, we're going to be plasma flyers. Yes. Like the skyfish. I could show you footage, and I'm talking footage. I am not even joking. I feel like I'm always saying that. I know. That's right. Well, when I get my daughter back, then I'll work on it's okay. Q, I know you're listening. I see you talking to me in all the special, wonderful ways, and I think it's awesome. And I can't put my finger on anything, even though I'm being shown to a circumstance where my daughter and I, when my daughter came into my life like a whirlwind, I knew with her and me that she was the Lord, my Lord, the one that God gave me. Bam! And that's the one I was supposed to worry about. And that's what God wants me to think about. In other words, that's my God. There's God. Like there's my, there it is. Okay. So, and it's because I'm not tied to this father guy. He actually, in fact, intentionally inseminated me in a maneuver. I shouldn't have been there in the first place. But I'm not regretting my daughter, so. My daughter and I represent the Holy Grail. We represent the example of God's code. God's all, yeah. Let me just go ahead and update that. Just go ahead and update that. And I have every reason to believe that the wow signal coming in when I was in the womb, which by the way is kind of like a radio receiver amplifier, like baking station. It's like a radio wave baking station. Cookies out of thin air. Now that's something. Cookies. Baking. Wheat. What if we forgot that we thought there was a such thing as a weed? What's that all about? Go ahead and show me a weed. Whatever that is. Useless junk, what? I can't stand all this talking shit on the planet Earth and God's creation. The first rule, guys, is we don't know. We didn't make it. We don't know what it's ultimately for. We can't jump to conclusions. And what do we need to know that for anyway? Money game is what makes people need to manipulate these things and come up with these fabricated thoughts. We're going to help everybody out of their mental illness. We're going to help everybody out of their mental illness. It's going to be great. And we know. This is why this is a good moment for us. We're like, these guys are coming in from a long, dusty 40 years in the desert. That's a play. That's a double entendre, though. My dum. Because we know that you're coming in from a parched passage. So we're receiving you. We're ready to receive. And we want it to be simply that. Forget about it. Let's take your shoes off. Don't even worry about it. Listen to the birds. The water rush. We're going to give your senses everything your senses need. And what you're going to understand about us and the healers is that where we put our hands is where we put our hands, and we have meaning behind it. Things that words can't do. Things that you guys will never try to, not never. See, I got to correct myself as often as I remember. That's the only way I can change, is just slowly but surely. Right? So I lost my train of thought again because I tried to correct myself. It's fine. Never mind. But that's an example of it, okay? That's an example of how lighthearted you have to be with yourself in a shift. How open-minded you have to remain. Okay? How considerate you are to your circumstance. So try to be thoughtful about it. Like, know what you're going to go through. Like, I'm going to need to get comfortable with stopping myself and redirecting myself, whatever that may be for. It's because it's good to get out of bad habits, right? Saying things like, and I forget what it was at the moment, but it doesn't really matter anyway, because ultimately what I was talking about is how we have to shift our energy and how we have to understand that we're our best and most valuable asset. But it's not that like talk, that conversation, that movement. It's not anything you've heard before. So just let's clean our canvases, guys. Let's go to art class today, and I'm your teacher. Your chaperone. Like I said, I'm your host. Let's gather around, guys, before we get started. All right. I want to let you know the bathrooms are da-da-da-da-da. You can go over there, make yourselves at home. If you've got any questions, let's do this. Have a good time, okay? Because that's what you just do. And it's time to feel better. And that's what God's ta-da moment is. Like, we're not going to take that away from God, are we? God's got a ta-da moment going. And if we're not looking at the sky, we're self-righteous assholes. No, I'm the asshole. But you too can be the asshole as well. I will share the spotlight of this asshole. Will you? We got to be able to know that who we are today is, I can say, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and cross the board, fill in, certainly subjected to a state of suffering, whatever that may be, small or big, across the board. And that's the frequency we're going to target, the suffering part. We're going to take out the hullabaloo, all the hullabaloo, which man needed to do to make himself feel like he was having a job, even though he had a secretary doing his work. I'm making the proverbial because it's like that. Every single step of the way, man has been this bloodthirsty barbarian, and we need to recognize it, but we need to put it behind us. So we don't want to have to trip over your shoelaces being untied. So if your shoelaces are untied, it not only slows you down, it can fuck us up. So let's keep our shoes tight. Shoelaces tight. Let's keep our eyes out for shoelaces being untied. We must be connected. That's what it is. So if you wanted an 8 billion person population, well, that's great. I guess you must really be good at this stuff. What's that? Maintaining a population of connected people. That's only then you can count it. You guys have been practicing with your with the adult paperwork again, kids, hey? Pretending you're all accountants and bankers and money men and murderers and rapists and war fighters and God-fearing breeders. That's not very creative. We're going to put it behind us. What does this mean? All it means is that we're not going in that direction, and you're in someone else's home now. So just get over it. It's not up for discussion like that. Like, well, we don't ask ourselves the question like, what made me come? Why am I here? Like, well, I don't know why you're here, sir. But if you'd like, you could take your shoes off and I could get you something to drink. I don't know why you're here either, but I'm sure you'll find out. So that's what I'm here to do. My daughter and I. We put through the situation so that we could bring it back around. First-hand testimony. God's got me out of there in the nick of time. More than a couple of times. So my being alive is not because they wanted me to be. The people that I have to prosecute. Just to get the cops to help me find my daughter. She's being held hostage. Or has she been murdered? Executed like they harassed me to believe. Because these thugs, you guys are real bad guys. We know. But look, check it out. For once, God, you guys, knock it off. Time out. Everybody understands that, right? We understand what a timeout means. You understand what a timeout is. It's kind of like that phone call you get about the invisible enemy. Yes, right away, sir. Okay. Clank. We're closing down. You guys proved that was about how far your integrity was required to go. You had no integrity. These guys bowed down for an invisible enemy. They're paranoid about something that they found. No, they were trying to get the jump on the situation because they thought they themselves so smart. But we're actually not in control. So I'm actually not talking to you being the them that are trying to make it happen. Now, you guys are just the players in the game. I'm talking to everybody else who has to see the facade. I'm calling it out, taking shots at the facade. So it's for your benefits that we call it out. We're not really. Look at them. We're just going to shift the situation. And it's what happens when you enter the light plasma. That's what all these colors are going on in the sky. Like I told you. So much Parasarma Bidens. I mean, Black Molly. It's too much information. Don't say I'm all over the place. This is... I'm still in the ones, you guys. I'm still in the ones. Skeletona Marioni. Look. Let's see. We got ones. Let's just try to get to something else. These are all ones. Oh, we got some twos. Alligator Mississippiensis. Okay. Right. Are you talking about all alligators? No. They're just using words that you recognize. Two. We're still in two. Threes. Oh, wow. Pigeon. Pigeon's a 3. Horse. Oh, okay. See, we're getting out there. Elk. Okay. 3s. We got 4s. Fungia. Zebra. Okay. We got 6. Who? Papiokindae. Hemilia patens. 7, 8, 9, 9, 13. Those are small numbers. Like for them to have them like listed out like this. Like I said, you guys got to look in the science before you brush this off. You got to look at the science, and there's no point in pretending like we're not going to have the audit. So the longer you guys keep this up, the longer you guys are dragging it out. But there will come the threshold point, you know. In other words, it's underway. Things are underway. Things happen exactly when they're supposed to, because God's in control. I know it feels like we could change things, but in reality, I'm coming to find out that the truth is that we're supposed to get good with knowing that God is in control. See what happens when we think we've got the right idea. We stub our toes every time. It's one of those kind of things. Like it's like a mother's love. but I understand it you got to understand we're 100%. So I am male, female. I'm 100% everything I need. Okay, I don't need to know what those numbers are, which percentages. Me and my higher self, we got this thing complete. Okay. And so that's each and every one of us is connected to God like that. Higher self. You're complete already. You just need to recognize it. Have that relationship with it, an open dialogue. Because everybody's the center of their universe. Like technically, if it's infinitely outward, which I believe that it is, especially because it's got shape to it and it is contained within a space, is why it's infinite. Because there's no such thing as not being able to be infinite. In other words, there is no argument about finite or infinite. Finite is contained within infinite. You see? So it is infinite. And finite is contained there. In. It's not either or. There's no option. Because if there was going to be a space to it, like if it's only so big, that's a conundrum. If it's only so big, then that means that it's like between here and here. So it's got it's encased. It's got a wall, right? Well, then that means that there's something on the other side of it. If it's a wall, if it stops, if it comes to an end, it's because there's something on the other side of it that you're being put up against something. Yeah. So that makes us all the center of our universe. And that's very true and accurate. We're in our own orbit. That's also important. Right? So when you're trying to get your kids to school, you're not like throwing 3 of your planets all on top of each other and taking them to one place at the same time. You gotta calibrate those orbits with your children, with your family, with your solar system, with your smaller systems, bigger systems, the micro, the macro. You understand? That's why I understand that we need to be connected is just dumb that we're not gonna beat ourselves up about it. We're not gonna beat ourselves up about it. We're just gonna go in the right direction and say, oh, that's why. We're so thankful that we're in the Emerald City. We're so thankful that we've arrived to the light. We're so thankful. That's all. There's no beating ourselves up about it because it's just what was going on in the darkness. And that's why. And the great news is that there's a lot of wonderful things coming. And you guys don't have to worry about anything. Because the intelligence has it all dialed up. Dial upable. And we're going to dial it up and dole it up. It's going to be a it's a self-perpetuating. It's a self-perpetuating system. It's the kind you want. It's the kind you want, and it's awesome. And we got to just open our eyes and start asking some questions and knowing that things are shifting. We also have to be willing as scientists, for example, to not take it so personally that I'm calling out your science for what is only just good analysis and due diligent inquiry. Look, I'm not even ripping it a new one. I'm just opening up. I'm on its face. There's too many questions. So as far as the audit goes, it's another reason why I'm here. It's my specialty. So my instincts tell me, speak the truth. There's a lot to see that we just aren't being talked about, at least. No one's talking about the light and these mathematical things, and maybe they are. But the thing is that we are so separated, and we're so thankful that we're in the light. Let's just say that. Let's just say that. We're thankful that we're in the light. We're so thankful that God has gifts for all of us, and God wants us to enjoy receiving them, like this earth, having some appreciation for how fucking awesome this beautiful. I mean, let's get real. I'm sure Mars is great. Yeah. Yep. Bet you it's nice out there near the Oort cloud. Stuff like that. Yeah. We've got people that are being murdered because they're homeless, and people starving, and people living in feces, and governments that are touting about. It's pretty gross. So we're gonna not let that happen any longer. We're not gonna waste the resources because this place, we didn't do this. We can't do this, and we need to stop pretending. If that's what you guys have been telling yourselves, again, we're thankful we're in the light again. Just remind yourself, be thankful that you're in the light. Okay, because it's all of us are coming to understand new things. 230 million years. So then that means that we've entered this light belt, and that's probably that's going on with the pyramids. Because what we're seeing in the sky is talked about in the Bible too. The alignment's going on. I'm led to believe at this point that it's most likely that they were there to let us know what to expect when it came. Like, this is a big deal, guys. And that makes me very, very proud. Very proud to have what's in my soul and what's in my daughter's soul, which is to help everybody. It's what's in our soul. And I know it's in everyone else's. So that's why we're all going to get all the opportunities. We're going to have all the resources at all of our disposal so that we can all make sure that we take care of one another. It's going to work out real nice. Look at this. Isn't that something? You see what I'm saying? I mean, isn't that something? Like, that's a great, like an album cover or something. It's just an awesome shot. And the eyes that are just looking at you, from everywhere. There's an eyeball. There's eyes, very, very strong eyes, and inverting light. And this is just light. Oh my God, I'm so in love with how beautiful this cosmos is. We get to play. Yeah, we do. But not just play. We get to laugh. We get to cry. That's a good one. Oh, it's a good one. And I'm good at it. But that's actually true. Like, to be able to say that it's like, some people don't, we all have different experiences. I can say that it's something I'm very, very good at doing. Not everyone has that yet, right? They don't have that yet. They don't have that ability to let crying be healing. And this is what a mother teaches, right? Creepy eyeballs and stuff. This was basically a ship that basically flew by outside the house. See right here? This is like where there you see like a rooftop right here. This is like a second story little awning thing and a window over here. So this is an open spot because it's just one story next door. This right here, bing bing, is like a pyramid. It was like a pyramid, and it flied completely silently. Completely silently. Yeah. Hi there. Hi there. That's awesome. Gotta have it. Look, yes, it does have personality. Yes, it does have personality. Try to say that it doesn't have personality again. Look how beautiful this halo of white, beautiful, like bow of beautiful light. You can't even get like I'm always so speechless. That's how powerfully awesome it moves me to just experience the light. The light teaches me so much without speaking, but it's always speaking, and it's fucking amazing. Part of my French is true. What's going on here? My God. And see, like, it's like I think that the photographs continue to process. It's like a portal of light that's constantly still coming at us. And that's what I bet you anything I'm gonna be able to scientifically prove it. That's pretty cool though. Oh yeah, that's like these big wings. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember this one. That's right. And this is like a door or something open. It's like a chair or somebody has, look, it's a platform like open like that. Because see, here's this the telephone wire, but here's a parking lot. And it was right across the street from the house. This is low down on the ground. See this eyeball staring at me? This is the day. And oh my God, this is an amazing one. I have it on my page. Flashing, it's beep, beep, beep. You could almost hear it like a fluorescent light going on and off. That's literally what I experienced. Look at the V in that. What is this, an eyeball or a mouth or what is going on over here? You got to look closely at it, guys. It's wild. I mean, just let's see here if I can. Sometimes when you flip it, it makes it a lot easier to see. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Wow. You're right. There's like, I know we could be seeing any number of things, any one of us. See how dark it is right here and how light it is? This is the daytime. This is like the daytime. Just amazing. Just amazing. That's another wave pattern that it caught. I mean, my point. God wants us to see God. God wants us to have God. And you want to know who God is? It's in our children, guys. It's a real big deal that God gives somebody the ability to bring forth a child. And it's not some hocus pocus 50-50 conversation. Because now you've taken it from all of us by taking it from simply the rightful owner. Let a mother be a mother. What is going on over here? Here's a moon. It's like a platform underneath it. It's like someone dangling out of a window. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. But then a lot of the time it looks like a fuzzy crawler, like a tarantula. It looks like a fuzzy crawler. Yeah, like a tarantula. It's true. It is so true. Oh my God. It's about rolling with it. Just rolling with it. We're not in charge. No, we're not. God is, what is, oh, that's my hand. I was like, what is that? Look at this language. Isn't that, what? Yeah, you see some of that. My goodness. My goodness. Wow, like that puts it in perspective even better. Yeah. That's amazing. Hello. Wow. Okay. And this is what God's doing. God and I have been in a thing. We've been in a thing for the last few years. So I got a whole lot of pictures of God and I together. God and I together being like what comes out of my observation onto the lens. The photographs are awesome. Again, what do you think the intelligence sees with all this violence that it gets to watch take place? You think that the intelligence doesn't feel violated too? Like, it's like, be honest, somebody that has to try to teach their kids to grow up to be shady so that way they can go, hey, why don't you go do this for me, all right, kid? And then they'll do it, right? So to be the kind of piece of shit that's got to try to figure out a way to try to like teach a kid to be an asshole or to be, have no morals or anything like that. That's a creepy piece of shit. So we don't want to have that attitude around. We're going to give everybody what everybody needs so that everybody can feel like a fucking 100. They can feel priceless. That's when we're going to find out how priceless we are. Looks like feathers. Looks like feathers. Again, this planet doesn't belong to us, but we've been gifted. Oh, look at that beautiful little bright spot. It's just crazy beautiful. It's just crazy beautiful. The detail of whatever's going on up there. It's not a cloud. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. And there's just more where that came from. I mean, you know, it's there's more where that came from. Look at that. Talk to mama. I don't know. I get the feeling of Osiris energy. It's all Egyptian. That's what I feel. I mean, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, you gotta admit it. It's pretty awesome. What's going on over here? I mean, you see all this? Okay, people. So there's nothing useful to do with ignoring it. Like, there's not going to be the cool guy that didn't want to listen because it really was going to be cool to not open up our eyes now that we're here. It's actually kind of a dunce cap maneuver. If like we finally arrive and you finally, and you're like, you just fell asleep, right? We just got here. You just fell asleep. Oh no. Look at that. Isn't that something? And these like slats, it looks like it's got like blinds or something. Yeah, that's right. It does. And it's not the first time I've seen that. In a lightning storm, these slats are, it throws it out in like layers. It slices. It's like slices of the cosmos is what it does. It's crazy awesome. What are you pointing at me? It's like this, be good. And I'm like, okay, because I'll be good. Okay. And that's what it is. It's the finger. It's the finger of ET. Finally, it makes sense. But it actually looks like a little round guy. But yeah, be good. Okay. Look at those colors. Okay, so anyway, I know I'm all over the place, and that's perfectly fine with me. Oh, I said, oh, yes. Look at this. Oh, yeah. This is the one that it came from. The one with the thing that I told you. It looked like the metal, like weird-looking shoe guy. Check it out. This was a cloud, and I got the colors to look at. But that's the one that goes right here. This one. Right? Isn't it something? Because it looks like it's got like a mirror or something. I mean, like it's got this just weird but interesting effect going on for it. Here we go. See? So God's got flavor on many levels. This is the least I could, that's just the least I could, the simplest way to say it. And this one actually isn't giving it much justice, but it actually has this like metallic shine to it. And this one has like this bulbous glassy look. I didn't do anything. This is just like the photos, you know, in the program. I don't have anything special. I really could use something special too, because I know I want to do things and I'm like, oh, I'm limited. Hello, look at that. Do you see that? That's like copper with like, that's like metallic. I know. All it is the colors. This was God's flavor, and that's the bottom line. It's gorgeous. Just beautiful. And it looks like an aquarium, you see? It was just a photograph that I had taken from the tip of my guitar in the sky. It was, you'd be, again, every one of them have their own flavor, and it's God's flavor. But it's like, it's its own look. And I don't, I guarantee you that if every single one of us wanted to take photographs of anything, and I literally mean anything, even in the dark, and you go up and in, God will start talking to you. God will start talking to you on your level, honey. God will let you know how much of your level God is already on. If you just take the time and the energy to dive on into the light as God sees fit with you, as you see fit to find. Look at how colorful this is. Are you kidding me? No, this is no joke. Okay, no joke. I guarantee you'll find it, and that's where you find God. Look under the light. Look inside it. Look around it. Look behind it. Okay. This is the introduction to coming home. It's got a lot of textures. It's going to make you ask a whole lot of questions, but never disregard it. It certainly is there. And it certainly is fucking huge. I mean, we're talking about the biological animal that is the atmosphere. It's the cloud stuff that encases our whole planet. And it's a biologically, it's what's going on the planet. The wind and stuff and the clouds, they're the ones that really live here. We're a glimpse in time. But what goes up must come down, you see? If our emotions are going out, feeling all broken. Well, that's just not going to be good. Not for nothing. And that's why God has seasons. Because God's not trying to tell us what to do. God wants us to know we can trust. This literally was in the sky, and it actually looks like an orca when you revert the colors. I know, it's wild. Just wild. God'll, look at that. Isn't that something? My God. That's just looking up at one of those balls, zooming in somewhere in time. Don't even know where that was. I have no clue what I was zooming in on, but I got the evidence to show you that that's what I was doing. But now watch, just keep looking at it. It's going to process right in front of you. You're going to start seeing it shifting and turning into something more because it's processing right in front of you. You'll start seeing more, you'll start seeing it get more clear. You can see the details coming in, and the colors are getting more vibrant. This is an experience, is what these photographs are. God, look at the colors. They're just bursting at us. You see that? That is wild. And see, when you take a picture of a picture, let me see what you're looking at. Now, isn't that something? Wow. See, so what you're seeing over here is even more different than this, because it's what I call going in deep. You got to take a picture of a picture so that you can create another dimension. So this one is another evolution after this one. And according to the story, that's why God gives the love to the child, to give to the mother, to give back to the child. So when you see an evolution of yourself, that's a child, generation after you, you look at it like, that's God's manna, not food to eat. God's giving you the love that, you're re-upping your supply of love. Look at those colors. And why is it so bright up here? Because I was zooming in on one ball. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that something? Yeah, well, it is. Oh, that's right. Oh, you did it now, mister. Nope, I'm going in. I'm just curious just a little bit. See that color? See that metal? See the metal? It's almost like metallic, but it certainly is a certain area. So this is like a holographic color on top of like metal. Yep. It makes exact sense. That's the living life. That's the living magnet. That's the magnetic thing about it is that's the way that it travels. It's a channel it's a current. That's the magnetic part. And then the living part of it is like the other stuff, all the rest of it. And it's all conscious, and it's colorful, and it's intelligent, it's conscious. And I guarantee you that's where you get sent. If you don't get to play, you get a timeout. And you can watch life from behind bars. That's why they want to get out. But we need to let them know that we don't want to, because what they are the trapped emotions from people's experiences here on Earth. Do you see that? See how it went from one ball to so many balls squished together? Okay, that's what I'm saying. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Hello. Yep. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. Okay. I mean, that's just says it right there. Look at that. That was the beginning. Oh my God. Coming alive, you see? And it will continue. They do. It's just what they do. Twizzlers. Okay. Color. My cat. Koi, le flunk. There's always well, that's that one. It's just I did the colors differently. The one that looks like it's got an angel. Now it looks like they're. Look at this. So many layers just of that one photograph. Okay. Look at the depth of that. This is God talking. This is God talk. This is God talk. This is the logos. This is honk. I don't know if it's a nose or not, but I honked it. Isn't it amazing? It is. These are all God's photos. But again, I made some art together with it. And like I said, I think we're having a thing. We're doing a thing. By all means, I think we all need to do the thing. And get God in at home. That's mothers, your children, first and foremost. That's worldwide. We're going to give everybody what we need. We're not going to waste any money or time or energy or life. We're going to be grateful, and we're going to preserve it. The trick to what's the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to keep doing it. You don't want it to run out on you. That doesn't mean you need to worry about living forever. That means you need to live while you're living. Oh, now doesn't that look sexy? For a second there, I thought to myself, that looks like someone like raising their right hand, like in a scene, like it's a photograph. And God does that stuff too. Look at, like I said, everything's got its own flavor. Now, isn't that one fun? That's a fun one. That's a fun one, all right. It looks like it's on a felt board. Yeah, that was a cloud. But look, that's God's flavor. I mean, in these triangles, they're all just, I'd probably, oh yeah. Look, I mean, the shading, the shadows tell you exactly what you are seeing. Shadows show you what you are seeing. When you just adjust your eyeballs right and you realize that it is cloaked, then you see that then you see it as if it was not. You see it all sapow. It's a jerk, and it's like a wank, and it's big fat. It's like a quick one, but it looks like the capsule head type of flyer. I don't know. I mean, I also believe that it can take the form of sharp ridges and sharp facets and edges. That's what a crystal does. So that's exactly what it's going to do. And I think that it can form and solidify and then deform. I do believe this. Now, because of the fact that I don't need to worry about, is it like an actual tarantula going to jump on my head? I think of it more on the level of a different dimension of time. It's in a different time dimension because of how big it is. That's what I think. Mm-hmm. Hello. Just amazing. Oh, look at this one. I mean, like, what's going on down there? It's like biologically alive. Excuse me. It is. Oh my gosh, the Bennu bird. Oh my gosh, then there's that one too. Yeah, the Bennu bird flew, well, so Ezekiel, this like swooped up. This swooped up when I was playing some music outside, and it was like silent lightning. Every time I see it's like processed more. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah. Look. Hi. I didn't know this because I was busy playing my my guitar. I had it recording and just sitting there. What are we looking at? What is this? What is this we're looking at? It's like they look like those Transformers. They look like Transformers that are going to turn into cars. Pardon me, thank you. Yeah, that's pretty interesting, huh? Yeah. But I wanted to find the Bennu bird. Oh, yes, right. Because this is when I was. Yes, the Bennu bird. Oh yeah. I mean, look at this. These are orbs that swoop up, and they come up closer, and you can see their light shining on the shore. These are talking. They're like communicating. See that? Just mind-boggling. And this Bennu bird. There it is. I found it right below it. See this guy? This was in a TV show that was showing me about Thoth, and it always comes. And this is like that Bennu bird, and it's got this like little red dot on its like wing thing. Well, the Bennu bird flew right in front of the camera that I was looking at, and it's like, and it was small and it was quick. I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't looking. Like, what the hell is this? And it's got the red dot on its wing. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. There you go. There's a better picture of the wing. And this is its neck because it goes down like a gizzard with a beak. Well, look at those arms, and they look like such flimsy legs. Well, I guess they do have flimsy legs. Look how huge that is. Now that looks like quite a tail, doesn't it? Yes, it does. I didn't see that before. It does look like quite a tail. Wow. Yeah, because it's coming in on your side. That is something else? Whoa. Yeah. I haven't seen these since I uploaded them. Wow. That is for sure a pattern. But not only a pattern, that's a pattern on the backside too. That looks like there's like, this could be, okay, so I'm not going to lie. I coined this the Benno bird. But at the same time, at the bottom of my heart, I'm like, when I look at the real photographs of like the mythical bird, I'm like, this one doesn't seem as dolled up as it should be. But this is dolled up. This could be dolled up for sure. You know, there's like the real phoenix Bennu bird. Well, the Bennu actually is representative of the phoenix, but the phoenix clearly has more just more pizzazz, more of a hairdo and an outfit with the feather schemes. This looks dolled up. Wow. Now you can see how black it is on the underside. Wow. And yet how white it is on the, wow. It's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. I love it so much. I love it so much, especially because I have my logo for my band is Mother Built, and it's a circle, like an oval with the black around it. And it's like Mother Built on the inside. I have to update it. That is something else. Wow. I mean, there's no denying it. It's got the black on every single one. Wow. Yeah, I guess I didn't see these. Something else. Wow. Oh my God, it looks like, oh my God, right? You know, there's a lot of things going through my mind right now. That looks like a spaceship, whatever that is. Yeah, I tried to get in as close as I could. See, you got the dot right there on its arm. That's what I'm saying. So first I see the Bennu bird, and then I get shown the show where it has a picture of the Bennu bird with the red dot on the thing. That's what God does for me. I mean, not like God does for me. I'm saying that's what God does for us in communication. Mm-hmm. Wow, look at how long that tail is. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Well, I do want a Pegasus. Is that a horse? Could that be a Pegasus? I really need one of those. Wow. Looks so tactical. Again, I didn't touch these. I mean, this is the way the energy processed these photographs. Just gnarly. Oh, do you see what I mean? Like, this is some. What the hell? Oh my God! I'm looking at what the thing is on the camera, and it looks like a human. It looks like a human with a ripped shirt. Oh my God! It's Superman. Oh, I'm not gonna make fun of it. It's ISIS. It's, I mean, come on, you guys, look. These are just wild. And there you have it. Oh. Just amazing. I mean, that was an experience. That was an experience for sure. Oh my God. It's never going to be over. It's never going to be over because I have for days. I've got it for days. So much that it's, I'm making it cliche. I'm like, oh yeah, it was like way too much. Look at this. I mean, There's reasons to look. That was actually crystals forming. You can speak to them and they'll write for you too. If you want to find God, you will just want God to write down some stuff. Give God something to write on. Okay. I have to have this. I will have this 4-door convertible 4x4 with a 7-speed manual transmission. Yeah. I love that. Look. What's this? There's rings. There's rings pulling down like that one. Remember that one we were looking at with the light balls? Big ones, small ones. That's what I'm seeing. There's rings. What the hell? It's the balls. It's the balls all squished up together and in alignment together, and that's all there is to it because it's light everywhere. Awesome. And we're small. We gotta get our perspective. Look. This was in my TV. So it was my TV. That's the sky. This is like a little street thing. Above them, this was called directly above their faces, their heads. Yes, this is in Japan. They get a lot of good stuff over there in Japan. I got to go there to find out what's the deal. Why is it like that? Like Japan's getting stuff that, but then again, how do I know if this isn't? Anyway, I keep finding it, and it's because God and I are on this thing. So I've got all the evidence. Look at how beautiful that is. White and then the yellow and then whatever's going on back here. Just amazing. And well, see? Oh, yeah. This is a volcano. You hear that, right? It's beings in communication with one another. in your first interpretation, I bet, is to think, oh my God, this is evil. You guys, this is what is reflecting what people's hearts and souls feel. There's no hiding the murder and the evil. We have to make it feel better. It's the truth. Pardon me, thank you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This one is great. Oh, that's why I woke up and I had been injected with something. Yeah, that was one of the evidences. Look at this. Look at this. It's like it's dipping. It looks like it came to take a dip in the water. What's this? Where is all this coming from? Out there for sure. That's what they're saying. Oh, it was moving. Oh yeah, that's a that was funny. Oh yeah, that's right. There's just so much, you guys. We gotta. Well, it's happening. There you go. It's happening. Oh, my baby girl, I love you. I love you. I miss you. I love you. See, this is like the Phoenix type something. It kind of looks like it with the white in the front. Oh. Oh. Beautiful. I love it. 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 I love it so much. Not as much as I love Alec, but of course, there's no question about it. Look at this. Look at this color. Look at this color. We gotta have some respect that we didn't make this planet. We couldn't if we wanted to. None of it's ours. We got to take care of the other wildlife and the animals and the soils and the vegetation that we're going to grow. We're going to eat them. We got to have respect for it. Look, so inside that eye, remember I told you this right here, and the star inside of it, right inside of it, and go in a layer, another layer, boom. Here's the center of that. Looks like it says ICU, which is what I call it, IQ for ICU for copper. That's what. That's layers deep. That's layers deep. What is this? Swooping up in the sky. It actually looks like Hebrew or Phoenician Hebrew writing. That's right. I got transformers showing up in the sky. I got the computer trying to tell me to look at I got the computer talking. It's and my daughter, she's the most important component here. And that's what everybody's fighting over, apparently. They think they've got some stake in they got some stake in our game. Well, they will learn that is not the truth. Look, I told you about how I was approached by the thing, the thing twice. Right here. Guy with the thing. The thing. Yep. That's pretty awesome. For Thoth, or, whatever it is representing. It's got that energy, doesn't it? Right, work away. Look at that one. That's pretty. This swooped up in front of me, and see the star right here? There's a star, and then there's like letters and writing and stuff, and it also looks like there's a flag at the top of it, which is. I mean, there's actually, this is interesting to look at it that way. I never looked at it from that perspective too. Does it say? No. It's got a lot going on for it. That's all I'll say. Wow. And that's just a still. We're just looking at a still photograph. Yep. Yep. Those look like 33s. See, and I got 33 put on my arm twice. Like for 33. See the star? Yeah. Oh, look. Now I got it. This is a guy with like his like old baron like mustache. He's bald and he's got like a mustache. I don't ever try to get other people to see the same thing because I know how difficult that is, but this is quite the image, is it not? Yeah, and this is just a couple still frames from the video that I have. It's like 40 minutes worth of sky right there in front of me, going through all of its motions. I didn't see any of this, well, except for the fact that it was pretty awesome in and of itself. This details I was not able to see with my own eyeballs until the light processes in the photograph, and that's part of the thing. So what the thing is that when I'm out there, I know that it knows that I don't know what it looks like all the way. So if you're like, well, why didn't you go with it? It's like inviting you to come in. No, I wouldn't be able to see that out there because I haven't, at least yet, to see. I can tell that there's that, but I can't see all of that. You know what I mean? So it's like it didn't hit home. It wasn't like I saw that then. So I assume that it knows that I'll be looking at it here, not out there. There's this thing about the observer that's involved. And this thing has been something I've had to, well, first of all, seek, because it's like, it actually started the night I said I need a galactic Uber to show up. And I went outside and there was a cloud right there. And it's when it started and it's still going. Like, we're still getting to know one another and it's going to be awesome. It's not just for me. It's all of us. And that's what the story says. I found it. I found out that what's inside my heart and my daughter's heart is in this thing. So it's not a prophecy for me per se. I've been shown to this. Like, God's had to get my attention going, see, I wrote this here. See, I wrote this here. But it hasn't really been that hard. My daughter's drawings are also from the future. So this is why I've been attributing this to Alec. This is my daughter communicating to me from the center source, because her and I love each other so much that our love is stronger than death. And that's the bottom line. So this is my daughter. And I told God that too. And God's not upset about that. God's not mad that that's how it would be for me. Says me. And then sometimes it looks like a Ninja Turtle. I see a tail and I see like a bandana. I know, right? But do you see what's going on there? That's not just a cloud, guys. I'm not trying to say it, but it's trying to say it. And I don't have a problem saying it because it's all about Alec. But it's talking, God's talking to us. And God's talking to me. And I got things to talk to us all about. And that's why what's happening is happening. And it's just exactly how God intended it. And it's awesome like that. That's all. It's just awesome like that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yep. That's like the Eye of Ra. Also, it looks like it says EYES, that, ineffable name of God. And then it looks like Zeus right here, Neptune, swoop it up, like swimming on his stomach, like a merman with a king's like crown. And again, the flag above the star, which means like Osiris's apprentice. But then it also looks like this F thing which is similar to what this symbol is that's on my arm. Boop, boop, down and around this thing. But it's got that like Z, you know, the Z from that Hebrew letter. It's got all that stuff right there. Which kind of like, you know, kind of God's given me the evidence so that I could go, look, guys, all right, so knock it off already. Knock it off. Because this trumps, that's probably a terrible euphemism to use, but this closes the door on all those conversations. God gave it to me to have, and it's because we've got it like that, and that's awesome. These guys are like trying to climb up an invisible wall. No joke. This guy's like, this is a still from, it's all the way up. It's amazing. The texture, and this is like heaven. This is like God's heaven swooping up. No joke. No joke. Swooping up, just like changing in front of me. Just like morphing right in front of me. And this is again on the video that I have on my page. And I changed it to say, I put Mother Built in the name of it. This is where it gets magical. Look at this. I mean, like, what is going on over here? I found Egyptian hieroglyphs that look similar to these things. This is almost like this, like bent looking like shoe, and it looks like an arm, that like a retractable arm. And there's like a hieroglyph that looks similar to it. What is going on? All right, see? Look at this texture, this color. I mean, it's these little grabby finger things. These clouds have grabby finger things. What you got there in the mouth? What's going on here, kitty? It looks kind of intense, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Yes, it does look intense. It certainly looks intense. It's handed me a scroll. It's handed me a sword. It's handed me a scepter. It's handed me crowns, rings. It's even made the sky look like the colors of jewels. And I found that in the Bible too. So when it says that New Jerusalem shows up, and it says that it's going to be this city that's adorned with all these colors and those colors and these colors, want me to show you where to find it? Right here in this land that God and I have been communicating in. God shown me so many things in the sky. I seen tsunamis. So God's shown me these pictures. Look at this. This is the retractable arm. And actually, when you slow it down, it looks like there's like the guy with the sash again, walking down some stairs, and like a real fancy, like an entrance. And I feel bad because I'm like, I hope I didn't like offend, you know, like how this is some other dimension of time. That's all I can say. Just another dimension of time. But it's got familiar textures when you get close to it, like you'd expect if you zoomed in on stuff, and then made it scale, like as if what we do see in our sky, in the micro and the macro, are zoomed in textures from just another time dimension. And it's a lot easier to almost depict than to describe. I will show you where those colors are. I'm just getting the bearings here. Okay, I know which ones I gotta find. So it's going to be, yeah, these ones. Oh. That's trippy. That was a creepy one. Yeah, you know, here's a good example. The colors of jewels in the sky, like everything's sparkling and glittering, and the colors that God lets me experience by finding it underneath it. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it says, you know, the jewels that are everywhere. Well, they're everywhere. All right. Everything's a jewel. Everything is so jeweled. You know? Everything's got such jewel. It's got zhuzh. It's got the zhuzh. It's got the zhuzh, guys. It's got the zhuzh. Okay, so I hope this has been eye-opening, enjoyable to at least hear me banter about. But no joke. I mean, I have nothing to poke fun at. This is all legitimate and mind-boggling stuff. And the good news for you guys is that, you know, you don't have to wait like, you know, painstakingly to go from beginning to like 4 years later, 5 years later. Now that looks like an eyeball, you know, a little creepy one at that, like, hello, but it was only from afar. Yes. Okay, so as I was saying, this is all legitimate stuff. And we all have access to it, and this is what God wants us to know about, that we have access to it. And so we can't take it for granted anymore, because it showed me the sounds of war, bombs dropping, children screaming. Okay. Here's the dragon that presented to me the scepter sword thing. It's like a pokey, it's like a cute little dinosaur dragon face. Beautiful. And then this is like this little grabby guy, you know, and then it's this thing. This is from Egypt. What it looks like. It looks like a scarab on it. A scarab. There's also been spiders that have shown up, and they've taught me a thing or two by just weaving their web in front of the camera. No joke. Oh my God. And the other night, I caught, oh my God. Yeah, look at that color right there. Look at that color. Oh my God. Okay. That's really cool. It was at the Niagara Falls, okay, and the so you can see it. The Dragon Queen faces a little bit. No, you can see it. Oh my gosh. Wow. And in the computer, it looks real three-dimensional. Now that is something. With a 3 on the nose. Now, are you blowing me a kiss? Because I'm telling you, that tastes like mango, and I love it. Tastes like mango. Well, that's awesome. Okay, so the spider was taken, she was having herself a mating session, and it ended well for her. But it was like 45 minutes long, and that's no joke. See, here's a picture. It ended up looking like an aquarium. See? Like an aquarium. Fucking awesome. That's capital F. UCKIN. Awesome. Okay. Oh, I got approached by ISIS. ISIS, what? ISIS's throne from Egypt. Remember the thing with the hat and the thing? Yep. So to say that I'm being approached by Egypt is not an understatement. Not an understatement. Not an overstatement. You understand? Yeah. Not anything like that. I attest to it. Look at this. Looks like the ocean shore. Wow. Pretty cool. I mean, look at that. Hello. Hello. So then I took a picture and wow. And then it's like it fingerprinted it or something. But this next one, it like put a fingerprint on it for me. I mean, where did that come from? It's like a God fingerprint, literally. See, and here's how I see myself, or how God wants me to see myself. Because like I'll be holding a baby. See, I'm fat. See, I'm fat, and that's okay. And we have the wings of the birds of the Pegasus standing on the serpent, saying, "No, now we're gonna get this place back on track. Now, you hear?" This is, by the way, spherical mirrors are pretty awesome. That's all I could say. Spherical mirrors are awesome. They let you look behind things. Right? So you feel me? I'm throwing at you all that jazz. Because jazz is this. Yeah. Look. Here's some mathematics for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be so much fun. Fun. See how we've got this dark like layer in between the two? It's like it's got its own zip code. And I believe it probably does. See how it goes like red to purple down? Then it goes red to purple out. There's something about this intersection and the layering. That's like, I believe how they make it like batteries. And it's functioning like a battery. That's the way I can see it. It's just, but the red down and then the red that way. Oh my gosh. So back to, I could just appreciate that right there and be mind blown right there. Just mind blown. See, this is one of the photographs I took, and this is one of the photographs that the television show put on my doorstep. I heard someone say, this is a photograph put on my doorstep. Okay. I got many of these examples, like, oh, that's like the one that I took. And it's God going, see, I'm letting you know that you're on the right path. I'm giving you the Easter egg. I'm dropping you those crumbs so that you know that you're on the right path. It's for your good. It's for your help. Oh, no, that's awesome. The guy with the sash, the bird, the little bird. Oh, come on. What else you got, Allison? Well, this is the eyeballs staring at us from an inner space. This is from the ISS. You can get lost in this photograph. This is just one moment. It's looking at you. It's got you. And then I got more where that came from. And it's good, though, because it's like the lens. And it makes you see like the scale and the size. And even if, all I can describe it as is we're in a macro-micro situation. Go with it. Be open to new ways to interpret things, because there's languages under things. Oh, like this. See this language? I found this in a dark photograph. Here it is. That's the original photograph. You're like, what? It's an original photograph. What are you doing here? It's all, what do you mean, what am I doing here? Well, if I just zoomed in accidentally, like, here we go. That'll work. Just look at this little yellow dot right here. It's because of this yellow dot right here. And I'm like, what's going on in there? What's this? But you see how I can only get in so far. So what did I do? Well, somehow, some way, I flipped things around upside down, and I am not joking you. I have no need to lie. Okay, that was the first picture. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, so those are some zoomies. That's pretty much the whole photograph, what it turned into. That's the hidden language that's there. And I go, what? What do you mean? What are we looking at? So I zoom in some more, right? That's the one you're familiar with. Remember the one with the knob? The knob and then the ball and the balls? See, now we're getting to know each other. Okay, I like where we're getting with this. Now we're getting to, like, now I'm doing my like little Atari freaking zooming into space look. But this was in a dark photograph. Remember that thing with the knob and the thing? There it is right there. But again, how did it get so detailed? Because it does. Because that's what it does. It gets detailed. So that was like the second picture. Okay, so here's a zoomie, a piece of it. Look, look, look. When you take another layer and you go on in again, you find a whole new zip code. But we're talking 3 dimensions here. No, we're not talking, I'm not kidding you. This is the one where I've got like layers deep on this. And I move one setting and it goes ding, ding, ding. And it like starts making little shapes. These guys moving around. And what? Dark space? In dark space. 100% dark space. There is no background to nothing that I was like, look at this. Look at this. Look at the 3-dimensional of this. Absolutely mind-blowing. Look at this. And if I move a setting, these guys are going to like be waving their hands or some shit like that. No joke. This is a language. But guess what? I don't have to make that argument by myself. The computer brought me to the information. The computer brought me the information when it showed me this video called The Computer That Dreams. Look at this. I mean, this is just one small piece of the photograph. The whole thing, right? But so back to, you think this is just static in the back of somewhere? No, it's impossible to say that. But look at this color. Look at this. This is a language. Look at this language. It's that metal stuff too. But look, it's got these like little slices of it, and it's so it speechless. Oh, see, there's the close-up. There's a close-up of the one that I was talking about with the thing and the thing. Look. You're kidding me, right? You got that deep to find these many layers. I went beyond that. That was like not all the way there. I'm not kidding you. You're like from the same photograph, not just from the same photograph, from the same dark black, from the same black photograph. There's like nothing there, you'd think. Oh, think again. And God rewarded me for my curiosity. So rewarded me, like beyond words can describe. Talk about a reward, right? Look, the colors, these colors, there's layers deep. That's the sun with the language there's languages in there too. It's everywhere. Look at that language. That was also underneath the photograph. That is not what the photograph looked like whatsoever. Look, it looks like 47. This is a language. Guaranteed. Look, what's this guy doing? He's like, there's like little guys in here, characters or time schedules. I don't know, but it's similar to some other stuff that so I'll have to get back to you. I'm going to keep updating I'm going to keep updating because I need to update. Because it's good to have this down, and you never know. It's always good to put it down, is my point. This is, okay, so you see this? Here's an example of going layers deep. Well, where did it go? Oh, Allison, it's doing whatever it feels like. Thank you. That's my favorite. That's a language. See? You got to go layers deep. Because I had to zoom into these to get even closer and closer. I know, it's pretty mind-boggling. But to know that is power. That's a language, and oh, there you go. That's the language underneath this language. That was the first thing I saw. Now you'd think you'd almost stop there. Nope, I didn't. I knew that wasn't. I knew there was more. But we're talking on a whole other level now. Now, if I scanned this, right, and I had somebody make a QR code out of it, right? The QR code will show me a picture of exactly this. I'm curious to know, will that replica of my picture that I asked this QR code to contain, will it allow me to also get to this? Or will it only be the original image that allow me to get to this? I don't know. And honestly, because it's digital, like I don't even remember. Well, with that other computer, I can't get into like the original. So my point is how could the QR code catch or therefore encode that also in that? Because I've done it. I've done it before. I've had it translate the information into binary and then move it into something else so that I can move it back into the thing. I wanted to turn it into code and then from back to code into a picture. And it did it. I was like, what? But again, what it would have looked like if I did it right here, it would look like this. It wouldn't look like this. So I got to do the legwork. And remember how I got that, because a lot of this has a lot to do with just playing with things. I'm just playing with things, futzing, because there's a lot of little buttons and options. You got a lot of different filters, right? And my thought process when I went into this was to try every filter so that way I never, once I found it once, I was like, oh, that proves it. Never stop looking and never give up. So use all the options that you got. Get all the options, use them all, and you'll find something. And it guaranteed every single time I found something somewhere. But sometimes it took longer than others to find the language underneath, you see? But if you've seen the flavor, I couldn't decide to make this. I'm like, nah, I want to get that aquarium look again. No. That aquarium look was for that photograph. That's what God decided, you see? This is what God decides to let. So you see how it's the most amazing type of connected artistry that I could have ever imagined. Together we do this. If it wasn't for me seeking, I would not find. But if it wasn't for having it findable, then there wouldn't be any fun. Something like that. Here's the bottom layer. This is the last layer I got to. Yeah. Like to holograph land. But you see what I'm saying? Every single one of these has its own dimension of time. So I don't even feel comfortable when people say there's only 11. I'm like, we just need to stop putting numbers on things. We're in a multi-dimensional world. Oh, this is what I was talking about. Remember that movie I said that the computer brought me to? Well, I'm going to show you right now. In the movie, it shows a picture of a girl getting signals. Well, it tells a story in a kind of a roundabout sort of way. It involves the WOW signal, but then it also involves this girl from SETI. And look, the language looks similar to the language that I found, and the language looks similar to the language that I found. Underneath the photograph that was black, and I have not found anyone. I haven't found those cubes anywhere else. I found similar, but not that. And these are those. And that is these. And see, it also looks like it's doing the protein folding. So it's telling us a whole lot in these images from this movie, The Computer That Dreamed. Like, ta-da! And it's telling the story. And it's like telling me through the story, because of it relating to what I did, is why it's just crazy awesome. It's just crazy awesome. So like, that's black and white, right? Like, that's so cute. Are those like von Neumann probes? And they probably are. Look at the color though. You see, then you can, oh my God, I can go in deeper. And you do, and you can. And it's just amazing. There's the full photo. I guarantee you, if I had the right, equipment set up already, it would tell me where we were looking at. Guaranteed it's a star map, for sure. There's a good printout of the language. It looks all three-dimensional there. Yes, it does. God talks on so many levels. There's never-ending levels. Listen. That was the night that it was, and I don't have it in this computer, not readily on hand at least. I know that other computer, and it was like basically just a stormy night. There was just low clouds. And I was being playful with the wind. It wasn't until I went back and listened to the recording, literally watched the recording of the clouds, that I realized that I had captured this. What? I only found Tahuti from trying to search anything that T2TCHM13, right? We'll do it one more time. Wow. That's something else. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So that's just a handful of examples for anybody that's been wondering here's what I was trying to do to that language, the transfer it into the code. This is one of the things I got it to do, right? Like, how much information could it possibly encode in there to be able to go under the light yet once again? But for all I know, it does. Here's another one. It sounds like it says "get down," and I found that actually. I found that when it was talking about the Apollyon, because I figured that 666 was actually trying to say 603 score 623, and then score it, which is plus 20, so 623 and 6. And see, because like Alison Vania Hemi in the gematria is 623, and then Y, the Y chromosome that my daughter and I, the genes that we have a Y chromosome. And so I was looking up the 623, and I believe it was Greek, but it's like Apollyon. And I'm like, what this? This is the name of the destroyer guy that comes around in a Revelation and fucks shit up. And I'm like, really? Wow. I'm so flattered. But no, but honestly, truth be told, so that's what the truth is, guys. God is beautiful. God is wonderful. God has got gifts for us. The meek inherit the earth. That's like that Tom McDonald guy. You better believe that it's the people that are real, honest, truthful, shedding themselves freely, because what else are you going to do with you? You're going to keep it all for yourself, I mean, no one has to get a heart broken over their, their story, their storybook fairy tale being crumbled, because no one's dreams are getting crumbled. All of our dreams are getting answered. And I mean, I don't know about you, but that's what I would think would be the one up, because God's the plus one. God takes you where, and it always just does you one better, but doesn't try to like prove itself to you. It tries to basically just keep everything going, keep the life rolling. So God's gonna be that plus one. So I mean, aside from asking, my wish to be my dreams to come true, well, the one up would be making everyone's dreams come true. So what we need to understand is that we're shifting into a new thing. It's new. So that goes hand in hand with things and things. We know that. We don't have to get all dramatic about it. Not at all. Not at all. Especially because we're going to be the ones kicking our own asses, like reminding ourselves to say things differently or to look at it differently. And, oh, that's right. Because it's okay to catch ourselves. It's okay to actually change your perspective 100%, as long as you're actively doing it. Honestly changing your perspective, not just for show and tell. So things are new. We haven't been here before, so we're doing it together. There's no way that we're not going to be doing this. We're in this ocean and we're going to survive. So that's that. We'll tackle things as they come along, and we're not going to anticipate things falling apart, because we know that there's power in our mental imagery. When we get good with God, when we get that trust. And that's what we're building and generating right now, is how everybody can know God without war, without servitude, without stealing the throne from the mother. And it's not a real throne. It's a throne enough, though. The head of her temple, for her child. That's between her and God. God keeps her in check. And we can parthenogenerate, so don't get your reproductive genetic science all twisted. We've got so much wonderful things to come. War needs to stop. Yesterday, see what it was trying to say? It was trying to talk shit. It was trying to say this soldierless termite. Well, first of all, again, aside from God teaching me firsthand, God teaching me in God's like itself. Okay, from like the student to the master, for the master, God has taught me particularly that God's specialty is stepping in the nick of time. That's what it's going to be. But that God's in control. So even these challenge parts are part of the script. But it's the unknown that's getting good with the mystery. So we're going through this, my daughter and I, in a human way, so that we can we can share our experience with you all, and show you how 1 + 1 = 2, and how when you look closer and under the light, when you see the examples, when you see the evidence, it makes more sense. Why it doesn't even make sense to listen to anybody or me talk about stuff without pictures. It's like, when you get the pictures, we'll talk about it, we'll do the thing. Yeah, that's how I am. And I love showing pictures. I'm all about it. Right? Because we're not going to have a world where there's money that I got to worry about, like not showing you the pictures until I make sure that I got them patented. My God, guys. We're not going to embarrass ourselves anymore. 230 million years. Just consider this, because this is all I can come up with. Unless NASA wants to let us in on some of the photographs that have been taken out there. Can they've triangulated things? How far have you seen? Like, we got any gates back there? Like, how many balls are there? I mean, this is what I'm actually wondering from all the light reflections that we've been seeing, the alignments going on since October 14th, 2023. So we just need to imagine that we don't have any clue what to imagine. So make it sparkle, make it colorful, make it vibrant, make it warm. The one thing I haven't been able to shake is making it stop being awkward in this kind of uncomfortable way. That doesn't go away, hasn't gone away yet. And I think that what it is dealing with the textures up close. On the scale of the system, we'd be looking at what it looks like zooming in, it looks like a fuzzy blanket type stuff, or like metal. I mean, it's another dimension of time. So it's textures that we're not expecting to see something just like us, but bigger and zoomed in. It's like that kind of thing. And I think that's always going to feel awkward and weird. But when I saw it, I was like, there's something weird about this. It's very familiar. You know, that weird familiar feeling. Well, don't get tripped out, because remember, nothing's evil. It's just in a form of broken or disease. It's not understood yet all the way. So all we got to do when we're experiencing things or we're in environments that are feeling awkward or uncomfortable, well, you know, good luck trying to like run from anything, sucker. You know, I mean, you're going to have to heal the environment. That's a rule of thumb to to all of us, to live one among one another. Healing our environments as a rule of thumb, kind of like throwing your trash in the trash can, taking your shoes off when you come in the front door. You know, we're going to simplify ourselves to simple things, and they're all going to make sense. We're all going to be, now things are going to start making sense, because now we're going to require this gentlemanly respect for one another. Because why? Because women will have the respect where the women deserve it. It's not women, it's mothers. And all women that are naturally born have that ability to become one. Men have a very important job, and it's not to be her husband. It's to be her son and to be a son of God, because he's got things he's got to graduate up to, just like she does and just like we all do. And just, if you don't worry about anybody else's grass, just take care of your own and be proud to be able to get to play. Children are suffering. We need to stop. Push stop. We need to push stop. Freeze. I'm telling the gods and the galactics, that's what I need. The button to stop, push stop, and freeze time. That's the best way to do it. And we can just handle it, and then we'll wake them up when we're done organizing. Because I don't have the ability to read the future, but I'll tell you one thing, there's a whole lot of awesome going on, and I get a lot of instincts and insights, and Alec. It's like time has been so weird. Well, God's got me on. Again, everything happens exactly as it's intended. And that's not an excuse type thought process. No. This is a law of physics, actually. There's a fundamental law about it. There's a fundamental law about the fact that everything happens exactly when when it was intended to. God's got it all synchronized. God's in control. That's that fundamental truth. So that's not an excuse. That's just a advice, which is to try to remind yourself, because it's easy to lose sight of. It's easy to lose sight of. We're all going to do that. Be there for each other. Don't be so hard on ourselves. Yeah. So nobody got it wrong. Everybody got it right. We're all winners. Who wants a vacation? But it's actually going to be like school. I've got some fun ideas. I've got some great ideas. We're going to make the application so that we can all get online at the same exact time. And that's why we're going to have the computer calibrate all these schedules out so that way it blends. And that, because when we're all online together. And I don't care if it's nighttime or daytime. We're all online. We're working this out together. End of story. We're not going to play those games. So we're going to get to put in our consensus poll. We're going to actually talk to people. And we're actually going to get presentations from the entire world's industries. And you get to apply for the right to still have something that you want to do. Because it's not going to have any like money or private interest involved. It's going to be for the world, because so what we're looking for is the knowledge. Like, so, hey, scientists, what have you guys figured out? Yeah, show us about your CRISPRs and show us where you guys at? And then where are you guys going with it? Okay, well, we'll set that aside, because we're going to decide collectively, not like you guys only or all of us only. It's Everybody's getting brought up to par. We're going to do the audit, but it's actually going to be the presentation. See how you do that you do that with the popsicle. You rip the Band-Aid off with a popsicle. We're going to have presentation, so we're going to get brought up to speed. Everything's going to slow down. That's right. We're going to prove to ourselves that we're not in any rush and that we don't control things. It's going to be our first demonstration that we're big boys and girls. And we can do this. We're going to prove that we're not fools. We know that God's in control of this, and that shouldn't have to come down to don't buy the hand that feeds you. How could anybody not be just elated to be part of this experience? Well, there's a lot of people who don't have that inkling because the love hasn't been passing down appropriately, but that's just how it goes in the darkness. That's why we're in the light. Exactly. So it's like when you're 21, you can drink, or when you're 21, you can drink. Now it's your birthday. Get it? You're old enough. Yay. We don't have to talk about why. You're 21. Now you're here. Huh? Right. That's what we're going to look at it like. That's right. We're all going to be sitting pretty. We're going to take that out of the equation. We're going to return the children to the mothers. Everyone's going to go on a 24 scope, though. No one should have anything to hide. And trust me, with me at the helm, you don't have to worry, but we're not interested in your information. Matter of fact, I'm going to secure you having yours. That's right. So it's going to be fun. That's what we also need to do to get this place cleaned up. The truth is going to be the driving force. And I only have confidence that the intelligence will be coded in this manner that we need to accomplish it to be coded in, because God's actually given me the keys and the badge. Goes, you got this? I'm going to put you in charge. Yeah. But God's not saying you're on your own. God's saying run on. I'm going to put my feet up and watch the game. Precisely. I'll even squeeze your toes if I need you to stay out of my way so I can get more done. Now we're going to have a rock. Now we're going to be rocking and rolling. Now we're going to have a real good situation happening. Guaranteed. There's nothing to fear about it. So. My mom. Alec, do you see what they're doing to me? They're light-hearted. Laughter, light-hearted. Sense of humor, light-hearted. That's the kind of thing that can get over like a grudge or like no resentment or like vendetta or vengeance. What? Those low levels. Lightheartedness, because once you go around the block so many times, you're going to have to laugh about it. Because you can't really just murder people. Then you just have pissed off ghosts and then you're just asking for it. That's why boys, gentlemen, sailors, not yet captains. I personally have to have a submersible yacht because I think that it's pretty scary out there in the ocean, and you better believe I'm not going to be out there facing no rogue waves with any surface bound yacht. No way, Jose. I'm trying to tell you. We're scared of our oceans. That's what it looks like. We're scared of our oceans. We'd rather go fiddle-faddle around on faraway Neverland. Well, we're going to change that. And we're also going to get all these military equipments and all them messing with the whales' ears and the animals. And this place is going to get awesome. And all you have to do is be prepared to be a hero. Fuck yeah. High five a hero. High five a hero. Fuck yeah. We're going to do this. That's all there is to it. And that's the great news. And we're going to share our knowledge with one another. We're going to connect and see how the Christmas lights actually work. Oh, because of that one silly little thing. It's a pretty big deal. You don't want to break the chain. So more on those topics later. Have a nice day. Get it while it's hot. The money market, we're changing things. So be open to the change that is coming. And try to spend your time as worthwhile as you can. And that also means you're human. That's what I tell myself. God's got me on a timing scale that God's got me on. And I've felt this weird, immense pressure for 7 years plus. It's this very weird feeling. But again, God never said it was going to be painless. Not like what's the complaint about? What's the complaint about the weed again? Are we talking about like weed? Like your ability to like what's this word weed? There isn't. That's just the mechanism. These genes, those mutations. No. The mechanism, guys. The mechanism. Boys. Not even embarrass us. Kidding, but not kidding. Barbaric. It's been barbaric. Enough of that. Okay. Cheerio. Alec, I love you. So you will be in connection here in the very shortly now, and we will devise our plan for healing. Reunite. Like reunion. Reunion. For a healing reunion. The most surreal moment I will have. I love you. And I love everyone else. Love is not a weird, creepy thing. Love is the force behind the creation of everything. That light is the repercussion of it. It's pretty powerful, huh? Well, it's back to the whole two is one thing. It's all the same thing. Sure, there's light and there's anti-light. There's the dark and there's the light. And that's where your fork in the road, I guess, is. But the love is the center source. Enough said. Yes, that's how you travel. See, because it's the camera obscura. So like the camera obscura is like a dark room, and then like there's one hole with light from out here going in there against the wall. Well, so our space is kind of like we're inside the room. And the suns are like a poke of a hole to central source. So it's kind of like in there or like over there, or like on the other side of there, or like inside of there, outside of their containment. It gets me giddy.